Joining us now, David Schoen, former Trump impeachment lawyer, and Mike Davis, former Gorsuch clerk and president and founder of the Article 3 Project. Now, there was scheduling news in the other Trump case in New York. But, David, before we get into that, this is how Tish James responded to the bond being lowered today. In her statement, she said in part, Donald Trump is still facing accountability for a staggering fraud, $464 million judgment plus interest against Donald Trump and the other defendants. That still stands. Is the judge signaling something here? What's your gut?
Well, I think that the court took a big step in the right direction. I don't think there should have been any bond for the appeal in this case. And the court certainly had that discretion. He has the assets. You know where he is. But I think the underlying conviction is going to be reversed, certainly by the time it reaches the New York Court of Appeals, if it has to go that far. As you have said, no loss, no victims. The banks were more than happy to do to make the loans. They wanted more business. He's an international brand. And so on. This is a very different definition of fraud than we've ever seen before. No jury trial. There should have been a jury trial. As we've said before, 2011 case that says no jury trial says because damages are incidental to the relief generally given under this statute, this executive law 6312. These are not incidental damages. So I think the court made the right decision, should have gone further.
Now, Mike, when you watch the faces always tell the story on the other networks. They were crestfallen today. I mean, they really wanted an immediate rush to Trump National Golf Course or any of his premier properties, and they wanted to see the padlocks being put on the door. They didn't quite know how to process this today, did they?
Yeah, it's amazing. You have this New York Attorney General who campaigned on the fact that she was going to get Trump, Tish James. They went to this biased Democrat Manhattan judge, Arthur Ingraham, who decreed before the trial began, before any witnesses or any other evidence, that Trump somehow committed fraud when he paid back sophisticated Wall Street banks in full on time, as agreed, with interest. And then they put this $500 million unconstitutionally punitive fine against Trump, and then they wanted him to put up this $500 million to pursue his appellate rights. This is obviously not going to fly with the American people, and this is going to backfire on November 5th, 2024.
Well, when you think about this, David, the bottom line is this signals that this might go Trump's way. I would imagine it would go Trump's way. But then we have this April 15th trial date that's set for this so-called hush money case, which I don't think the left thought was going to be their best shot at starting this lawfare really going. But it really could be the first of the big cases. I don't count the Jean Carroll case. Thoughts about that today? That was the one saving grace the left thought that gave them a little chit on their side.
Well, politically, I mean, each one of these cases sends President Trump soaring upwards in the polls, because I think ultimately the American people are fair and reasonable, and they see these political prosecutions for what they are. There are so many problems with this case, it's hard to know where to start. This judge never should have been assigned to the case. He wasn't randomly assigned. He was assigned to the Trump Organization case. He was assigned to the Bannon case. They say the chief administrative judge put him on it. It wasn't because he was qualified, in my view. I've had nothing but bad experiences with him. He's an anti-Trumper. The indictment is defective. It doesn't give notice of what's really charged in the case. But the biggest thing is, they hired a special prosecutor in this case, Mark Pomerantz, who came in and did a study. It's all in his book. The higher-ups in that office thought this case should never be brought, just like the feds passed on the case. The feds had this evidence, and they said there should be no prosecution. You're going to see in this case Bob Costello testify, who was Michael Cohen's lawyer, and he's going to tell you that Michael Cohen told a completely different story, and Michael Cohen waived privilege. That's one of the main reasons the feds never prosecuted.
And Mike, your sense on this, because there were tens of thousands of documents that have to be gone through in this case, and I imagine they're going to ask for another continuation in this case to push it off past April 15th. Do you think that will be successful?
Well, for Alvin Bragg's sake, I hope that he better hope this gets pushed off, because this is a dog of a case. They have taken a businessman settling a nuisance claim and tried to turn this into felony campaign finance violations that the prior Manhattan DA the Manhattan U.S. Attorney, the Federal Election Commission, and Alvin Bragg himself passed over until Matthew Colangelo got sent from the number three office in the Biden Justice Department to resurrect this zombie case to get Trump.
Yeah, well, President Trump mentioned him by name today. David, the judge was clearly annoyed by the underlying allegation that this is all just, some political vendetta against Trump. He didn't much like that today. What would you advise the president as a matter of legal strategy? Forget the political PR side of it.
He has to keep making the record in this case. This judge is always going to be annoyed with anything that appears to be in President Trump's favor. You have tens of thousands of documents being turned over at the last minute here that easily could have been gotten from the federal prosecutors. They worked with the federal prosecutors. As Mike said, Colangelo comes from the feds. He also comes from the New York Attorney General's office, where he went after Trump as well. They just can't play it straight with folks who are looking for justice in this case. And this judge certainly isn't, in my opinion. He's the wrong guy for this job. But President Trump has to stay the course and keep raising all of the legal issues in this case. And wait till you see what happens when Michael Cohen testifies and his own lawyer contradicts him.
Oh, that is going to be juicy. David and Mike, great to see you both. Thanks so much. All right, coming up, having his bond reduced wasn't the only major win for Trump today. I'm going to explain it next.